So I'm not a rocket scientist. If you've been practicing your social distancing and keeping up with your Facebook devotionals like I have, then you may have come across this tricky and yet entertaining brain teaser. For those of you who aren't so great at math, stick around for the answer. Just FYI, the obvious answer probably ain't the right answer. And how do I know this? Well, because after I calculated it, I scrolled through the comments to check. It was the right thing to do. About 4 comments in, I'm like,
No.
What's wrong?
I've made a horrible mistake.
no worries. I go back to the drawing board, come up with my new final answer, and I'm like, cool, I'm about to share this on Facebook. Because I know deep down in my heart of hearts that I got the right answer. Now I'm quoting the meme in my head like, bruh, why people can't get this right is beyond me. Yeah, the answer is 25. It's definitely 25. I said to myself, Self, are you sure? Myself said,
Did I stutter?
alright, cool then. Yep, click that share button. I'm like, cool. 30 seconds later, comments start rolling in. People got different answers than me. I'm like, y'all, it's 25.
They're like, nah, man, it's 40, it's 30, it's 53.
Halfway. Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
So then I took another look at it and I'm like, wow. Humbled again. First mistake, didn't realize it switched from addition to multiplication at the end. Second mistake, didn't realize we went from 2 wristbands to 1. You know what? Just throw my whole degree away. The educational system has failed me. Had to change my now 3rd final answer to 15 because 1 man equals 5, 1 wristband equals 2, and 1 sneaker equals 5. So when you follow the order of operations, 1 man times wristband equals 10, and 10 plus 5 equals 15. Tried to tell y'all the obvious answer wasn't the answer. But what in the world does any of this have to do with apologetics? Well, if you're like me, then you probably know someone who used to be a Christian, but when they were challenged with an opposing view that seemed to contradict Christianity or the Bible, they fell away from the faith. Church scandals, the prosperity gospel, tragedies, unanswered questions, and sometimes even our own rebellion can cause people to doubt God. Me. I'm people. Let's face it, we all have doubts sometimes, right?
That's right!
It can start with something as simple as an unanswered prayer. You know, why wouldn't God do this specific thing for me specifically when I asked him to? Sprinkle that with a few lectures on evolution from your college professor, add in a daily dose of anti-Christian rhetoric on the Breakfast Club, and top it off with a YouTube subscription to the Sonnetter channel, and you are consciously on your way to being hostile towards the Christian faith. And let's not forget about some of these clever memes floating around Facebook that just seem hell-bent on dissing Christianity. All of these things mixed together can easily deceive a person into thinking the Bible and Christianity are a sham, even though a lot of those claims are easily debunkable. Just the other day, somebody tried to convince me that Jesus couldn't have been the Messiah's real name because the letter J is only a few hundred years old. So I asked him, apologists y'all already know, what about Joshua, Jerusalem, Jeremiah? Response? People challenge Christianity all the time about the creation story, the historicity of Jesus, slavery, and a million other things. But what I've come to realize is people with opposing views to Christianity have just as many tough questions to answer as we do. Maybe even more. Okay, Mr. Comedic, you say that Jesus wasn't a real person or that he was created at the Council of Nicaea. Show me some primary source evidence to support that claim. And you can miss me with them sources from the 18 and 1900s. The New Testament was written in the 1st century, so it would be nice to see some 1st century evidence. And again, spare me with the speculatory theories that have absolutely no historical basis. Alright, Mr. Atheist, you say the creation story is a fairy tale. Okay, then give me a logical alternative explanation. How did we get here? If you believe in macroevolution, then you should be able to scientifically demonstrate to me how it's possible for all life to have evolved from a single-celled organism. Cells are composed of different parts. You have your cell membrane, you've got the cytoplasm, then there's the nucleus, that's where your DNA is located, and then you've also got ribosomes, that's where your protein is located. How can all life start with a single cell if you need DNA to make protein, but then you also need protein to make DNA, but then you need both of them to have a cell in the first place? So it's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Just saying. I mean, clearly I'm no expert on biology. I couldn't even solve that math problem. But I don't have to be an expert because I'm not an atheist. The burden of proof is on them to support the rationality and likelihood of their claims.
I said I wasn't gonna say nothing. Say it. But somebody need to hear this.
Don't let atheists fool y'all into thinking they got it all figured out, because they don't. To believe that creation has no creator, in essence, is to believe that paintings have no painters. And that, my friends, is a certified miracle. So if Christians and non-Christians alike seem to have unanswerable questions, how are we to know what's true? Are we to assume that no truth exists just because we don't have an answer right now?
Oh, hell no!
How many times did it take for me to work that math problem before I got the solution? Funny you should ask that, because after finally settling on 15, I found out that yet again I was wrong.
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
There was something else in that brain teaser that many of us had overlooked. And if you didn't miss it, then I'm giving you the major eye roll right now. In the last equation, the man is wearing shoes and appears to also be holding 2 of the wristbands. Which of course means that all of my previous calculations were garbage. They say the devil is in the details. Shout out to Mr. Phil Fox for revealing the true answer for us after a quick Google search on Al Gore's internet. Phil left us with these words of wisdom. This is a test to see how well we all pay attention. Touché, Phil. Touché. Also wanted to shout out at Young Kings TV for torturing us with this brain teaser. You're an evil person. Just kidding. Y'all know they meant to trip us up, right? But for real though, aren't y'all glad that God is not like at Young Kings TV or whoever created this brain teaser? See, God's not trying to trip us up, but he does get pleasure out of us seeking for truth and asking tough questions. Wasn't it Jesus who said, "Ask and you shall receive"? And wasn't it also Jesus who compared the kingdom of heaven to a hidden treasure? Now y'all know I love a good parable. In Matthew 13:44 it says, "The kingdom of heaven is like treasure, buried in a field, that a man found and reburied. Then in his joy he goes and sells everything he has and buys that field." So how are we to know it's true? Well, that's easy. We just follow wherever the evidence leads us. Even if you come up with the wrong answer 100 times, just keep searching until you find the right answer. Colossians 2:8 puts it like this: "Be careful that no one takes you captive through philosophy and empty deceit." I again would like to reiterate, don't let non-believers pressure you into thinking you got to know everything, because I guarantee you they don't know everything either. Now, for those of you who stuck around for the answer, here it is. You're welcome. $43. Now let me know in the comments if you got this right on the first try or if it still has you scratching your head. And as always, if you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Love you guys. Praying for you guys. Shalom. Grace and peace.